Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We're going to take a quick look here at Elon, and just before we do, just note if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, this is for educational purposes only, and just note I have years of trading experience, over 15 years, and my goal is to help you become more of an effective trader. I have a trading community designed for that specific purpose where I share trades of every single trade that I take with my members, and it's actually really cool. We have a trading bot, and it actually allows for you to one-click follow. Really cool situation there. I'm super stoked about it because it's fairly new, but all in all, definitely check that out if you're interested. I have a descriptive video in the description below if you want to check that out. That being said, take a quick peek at Bitcoin first, just before we move on. We got a support channel between 58 and 60,000. We have a descending wedge pattern here forming, which is a bullish breakout. So commonly, we'll see a break to the upside. Hard to say if it's going to break right now, if it's going to kind of leg down once more and bounce off of support at about 58. But at this point here, if we look at the 4-hour chart, you can see we are still making lower highs and lower lows. So we're not out of the woodwork yet. Unless we can break to the upside here soon and exceed right around 63.5, then we're going to be in a position where we might see the price continue to digress. But what's great now, here to keep this in mind, we have a nice support channel between 58 and 60,000. Yes, that's all well and good. But we also got a really strong volume profile here as well, right at about 55,000. Right? So even though we got a tremendous amount of volume right now where it's at, if we do lose that, the secondary support level is about 55. Okay, so that is great stuff here for Bitcoin. Now, taking a look at Elon here. Obviously doing some very good stuff here today. We can pretty much see what happened previously. The ascending wedge pattern broke out essentially twice, right? The very first one broke out, went sideways, and then it broke out again here. So now we're on that second push, that second leg up. Let's see if we have any type of I guess exhaustion here for TD sequential. See what's going on. We're at a 6 right now. So technically we could have about 3 more days worth of bullish momentum. Okay. Now again, this isn't foolproof because we're still a little bit in overtime in my opinion. Didn't have enough time to consolidate as well as it should, at least right here. But we will find out very soon what's going on. If this is any indication of what could happen, then yeah, we'll see it just continue to increase. RSI is up over 70. I love this here. As you can kind of see, the RSI is basically working as a support level. So anytime it tries to come back down below 70, it just keeps on moving up. That is fantastic. It happens a lot with coins like this. More specifically, I wouldn't say meme coins, but coins that are a little less functionality, for lack of better terms. They have a tendency of doing that, and that's the main reason why too, is because there's like this social sentiment, this hype that kind of continues to progress the price upwards. Where a lot of younger, older, I mean pretty much anyone really, but a lot of people are making money on this, and it's interesting. If you had got in really low, you'd be doing very well right now. So comment below if you are one of those select few that got in around, just say 5, 10, 20, somewhere in that range there. That'd be awesome if you did. Take a quick look at the 4-hour chart, see what's going on. Similar scenario here. Really can't extract too much here, but just simply put prices over 70 on the RSI. That's very standard right now. Nothing to really concern yourself with. But there's a chance we might see a slight retracement or correction before it continues further up. But we'll find out here soon on smaller time frames. And what we want to do as well is we want to take a look at Fibonacci, see how much more gas we have left in the tank here, and then kind of see what's going on. So first of all, let's just go and mark some support levels. We got what, 126 as the most relevant support here. If the price were to come back down, we'll go and mark 50 as well, which is what it's 100, even 100. Cool. Awesome. All right, so we'll just go ahead and put that in there. And in fact, really quick, while we're on here, I'd like to throw this up here as well, kind of get us perspective and see roughly where the price could be, right? So even though we haven't quite hit our all-time high, obviously we're not even quite there yet. The bottom line here is that if we're to continue on this trajectory, right? Say we're to essentially continue to push in the same exact momentum. Tomorrow or the day after, we could very well see somewhere in the range of 259. Now that's extremely lofty. This has to calm down and retrace and have some kind of, consolidation before it'll go up that much further, right? But the bottom line here is that the potential based on Fibonacci retracement from where it's at previously till now, in the last just say 2 or 3 days of trading, if we see this happen again, which does happen sometimes, we could see somewhere upwards of about 259. Keep this in mind though, that's extremely high. We want the price to consolidate a little bit, at least at support for, I would say, a day or two before it legs up again, because that would give us a healthy increase. So we don't have a very super strong decrease the day after, right? Shiba Inu did that as well recently here, where there's that big state of correction where it came down almost 50% of its original starting point. We want to avoid that here. So if we can avoid that, a great way to start would be some consolidation sideways right now where it's at between 126 and 145, and effectively give us that calming down, that cooling off period where the bears can take their profits and then the bulls just drive the price back up. Yeah. Again, it's hypothetical at this point, but I would say better case scenario, within 2 to 4 weeks, it is very likely for the resistance level of about 223 to be broken, and its all-time high at approximately 245 to also be broken. But just keep in mind, that's kind of the higher point. That would be, it'd be a bit on the exaggerated side if we were to get to that point right away. We want a cooling off period here soon. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at there for Elon. So again, month end, I would say end of November, we're looking at absolutely testing the resistance level, if not breaking it. And then I would say by year end, early next, once we have altcoin season in full effect, we'll absolutely probably see somewhere the lines of what 260, 300, somewhere in that aspect, right? All right, so let's go back to the 1 hour chart quickly, just to identify a couple more things and call it a day here. So Ichimoku cloud, price has been above the cloud the entire time. That's pretty standard. What's cool here, though, is if we were to get a retracement, right, and see the price were to come down here, possibly if a break below, we should have the support level of the actual cloud kind of help driving the price up and keeping it higher. That happens quite frequently. In fact, that happened with Shiba Inu recently, where the price just continued to progress upwards, it retraced, and it bounced off of that support level created by the Ichimoku cloud. Okay. Another thing to note, too, as well, is we can kind of see here we're at a 7. So in this 9 hour period, we are basically 7 hours into this bullish push. So hypothetically, we might have 2 hours left of bullish momentum, followed by a retracement. So if hypothetically the price comes up a little bit higher, tries to test this area here, it'll come down, probably consolidate somewhere around 126. Again, that's what we want to see. Will that happen? Hard to say specifically, because it really depends on what everyone else is feeling. You can tell there's a lot of money getting funneled into the market here today, because Fridays, even though Fridays are commonly red days, today is kind of different because we had that push from Bitcoin last 24 to 48 hours, right? It kind of bounced off of support at 58,000 when it got tested yesterday, and now we're at about 61. So a lot of people feeling good going into the weekend, and that's what this coin does. It's a feel-good coin where people kind of build on that hype. So, it's important to understand the social sentiment of something like this when you're going to invest, because it's going to eventually hit a cooling off period. And when that happens, you want to be ready to take some profits, right? So always set a target before you jump into your trade. I teach that to my community members all the time. If you start a trade, know what you're going to get out of it, right? I want to set my target at X, Y, and Z. So set 3 profit targets, set a stop loss as well, and preferably a trailing stop loss that it triggers every time you take profit, right? So what it does, it adjusts to the lowest, the more previous one. So in other words, if you hit profit target 1, it'll adjust to your break-even point, and then it just continues to increase as you go along. Those are things that are available in trading bots. Like we use Cornix through our Telegram community. That's very awesome. It's all fully automated through Cornix / Telegram. But I would recommend 3 commas if you haven't already. That's a really, really good resource. Or just, again, adding trailing stop losses. Unfortunately, the largest exchanges out there don't even offer that. It's terrible and tragic, but it happens. So just be mindful of that. Anyways, I'm rambling. Let's go ahead and call it a day here. Big picture, though, yeah, we're going to see some things here from Elon. I don't think it's done ramping up. I think it should be done for the next 24 hours if it's going to continue to increase correctly, the way that it should, right? But you never truly know with these kind of coins. So just be cautious, be careful, and make sure, again, you always set a limit before you jump in, okay? So thank you very much for joining me here today. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my Patreon community, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a good one. Thank you.